My name is Joko and welcome to our channel where we talk about all things trucking and give interesting tips and tricks for drivers just like yourself. Today's video, we'll talk about this 2022 Freightliner Cascadia. Let's jump into it. All right, as we can notice, there is not that many changes from the previous 21, 2020, even 2019 models when it comes to the overall and the outer look of the Freightliner Cascadias, with some minor, I would say, aerodynamic improvements on the newer models. Starting from the top, we can notice the chromed out elements on the side mirrors and the hood mirrors. Next, we have the big front grille that is typical for pretty much any Cascadia. Like I've said, all of our units have deer guards installed on them for safety reasons, obviously. LED headlights with daylight running lights, and down at the bottom, and on this unit, we also have fog lights. Now let's jump to the driver's side. If you enjoy these types of videos and you want to support our channel, I'll put a link down in the description below to our merch, where you can find some interesting trucking related designs for t-shirts. Feel free to check it out, and thank you for those that have purchased some t-shirts, and thank you for supporting our channel. Okay, looking at the side of this unit, we don't notice any major aerodynamic improvements from the previous models, and as a matter of fact, not even on the newer models, there's not much improvement when it comes to the outer looks of the Freightliner Cascadias. But this particular unit, let's start from the top. It has a window up there for the second bunk bed. Then we move down here, another fairly small window for the first bunk bed. It has chromed out side mirrors, and as we move down here, we can fully enjoy this beautiful decal that we've put on this unit. It doesn't do anything mechanically to the unit, but it does make it look nicer and stand out from the competition. Moving down, we have our side fairings with our battery access compartment, and this is also where we put our fuel. This is a magnetized door. You just pull on it to open it, and then you just push it to close it, and the magnets are pretty strong, so they won't allow it to open while you are driving. The side fairings do not have latches to open, so you will need some tools if you want to prop them open and get access to the underneath of the truck. Here we have a side door which you can access by opening the door. Here there is a pulley that you pull, it opens the side door, and this is a small storage compartment that you can store pretty much whatever you want. We mostly keep our emergency triangles here, flares, whatever you might need for on the road in emergency cases. It's a fairly small compartment, so you cannot put anything long or wide or tall. So, it comes down to whatever fits in here. To close it, you just push it until you hear a clicking sound. And towards the back, we have our wind deflectors with a rubberized deflector as well to help, reduce the wind drag. And as well as, like I said, the sidings go pretty down low. Some units also have a rubberized fairing down here, extender, to minimize wind drag even more. Let's move to the back of the vehicle. Coming towards the back, we don't notice, again, any major differences. It's a little bit of a dirty unit, but do keep in mind that we do work this truck, so that's why you might notice a little bit of dust here and there. Starting from the top, there is not much we can see. Moving down, we have our connection lines for our trailer connection. We have LED work lights, and I believe this unit has two 125 gallons fuel tanks, which brings it to a total of 250 gallons. Drum brakes in the back, disc brakes in the front, and on this side we have our ladder where we can climb to get on top of our catwalk. We have our LED brake lights, and moving on to this side, from this side we can actually see our exhaust, which is underneath the cabin. On the passenger side, just like on the driver's side, there's not many differences when it comes to aerodynamics and the overall look on the outside. Again, we have a small window for the top bed bunk, a small window for the bottom bed bunk, chromed out side mirror. This model features a mirror that will look straight down here, and again, you have a door which you can access by pulling onto the system here. Again, it's a fairly small compartment, so you gotta think twice what you can store in there. Close it, just push it until you hear the click. Again, the side panels do not open like we have on Volvo models or on the brand new Peterbilt model. Extended wind deflectors with a rubberized wind deflector here in the back. Now let's pop the hood and see what's underneath it. To pop the hood, all you do is you unlatch it from the side here, and from the other side as well. Once you have unlatched it from both sides, remember, if you have a deer guard, you have to unlatch the deer guard as well. With most deer guards, it's fairly straightforward. They will either have a bar spreading across that you pull on, deer guard down, and then gently pop the hood. On the passenger side, looking at the engine bay, there is not that many differences from the previous models, maybe except the location of the air dryer filter. Some models, I know it may be underneath the engine compartment, I mean the cabin, behind the engine. This model, obviously we have the air dryer filter here. Let's go to the other side. And when it comes to this side of the engine compartment, there's not much to talk about except you got easy access to your coolant reservoir, your power steering fluid, and pretty much most of the components on this side. This is a DD15 engine with 505 horsepower and a automatic transmission. Now let's jump inside and take a look at the interior as well. But first, let's close the hood so that it doesn't get damaged in windy conditions. And also remember to always close your deer guard and until you hear an audible sound, or do that. Looking at the interior of this beautiful truck, we notice that the beautiful two-tone design of the interior dashboard. We've got the black and the brown with some carbon fiber accents. But let's start from the passenger side. Starting off with these perforated leather seats, we go on this side. Like I said, we have electronic locking and unlocking of the doors. We have electronic window control over here. We have a huge dashboard. Personally, I don't like the fact that it's actually black because in the summer days, this attracts a lot of heat and it's hard to cool down your cabin in the summer months, especially if you're parked somewhere and the sun is blasting directly onto your dashboard like it is in this case, no matter how much you have your AC blasting. Like I said, beautiful carbon fiber accents with the Cascadia logo, brown two-tone dashboard. On this side we have, as you can see, the entire dashboard is turned towards the driver to make you feel more like a pilot in a cockpit instead of, you know, a driver of a commercial vehicle. We have our analog gauges up here, and then moving further down we have our dashboard. It's partially analog, partially digital. The center part here is a digital with a menu, with a pretty vast menu actually. You can go through the menu and you know, you can see different settings. You can set up different settings. The steering wheel has also some controls in it. We have our cruise control set here on the steering wheel. Obviously, you know, you can lower the volume, raise the volume of the radio, answer phone calls, etc. Moving on, here on the driver's side, we have our side mirror controls. We have heated side mirrors, electronic window control, and obviously the electronic locking mechanism. And now moving upward. Just like the Volvos, the Cascadias do not disappoint when it comes to storage. So let's start right here on the passenger side. On the passenger side, we have a huge storage compartment where you can store anything with a closable door. All this space here is a storage compartment, and you can, you know, see whatever you want up there. You have more storage up here for if, let's say, you want to put a CB radio. And above the driver, we have another storage compartment that you can use to either place documents or whatever you want to put. One thing I also like here about this Cascadia is that you have overhead storage compartments right here that you can place some documents or anything that you want to have a quick access to, and as well storage here on this side. Now moving towards the back of the vehicle, we can see that even the back, this is a fairly spacious unit, not only for one driver but, you know, even for two drivers. Let's start with passenger side. We have our storage unit up here with plenty of space to put anything you want, either clothes, food, condiments, anything. We have a child-proof system here. We have another storage compartment with a microwave, a TV mount right here, We have a space here that you can either use as a dinner table or as a workstation. We have a nice big drawer to store stuff, obviously utensils or whatnot. Also, there is a refrigerator, small in size but spacious enough for you to place food items in it, and close it there. On this side we have yet another spacious cabinet that you can put pretty much anything in there. We have this huge cabinet here that you can also hang your clothes if you want here, or you can just pile them up like there. There is a workstation slash table, as you can see, that you can use it to either eat your dinner on, or, you know, like I said, as a workstation. Further down, you have yet another storage compartment. And this compartment right here is where your cabin filters are. So if you want to clean those as well. Moving towards the back, as you can see, it's a twin size bed, I believe, with a beautiful brown and black two-tone design. If you want to pull down the top bunk, all you gotta do is twist this either left or the right. There is an arrow here. Twist it and then it will come down slowly. You can pull like this on the ladder. Remove these curtains so that it can latch. Put the ladder down, and now you have access to the top bunk. At the top bunk here, as you can see, it's really spacious. We have some beautiful, very soft LED lights up here. We have a light up here, reading light as well. And these covers really help if you want to prevent, you know, sunlight coming in, or, you know, when you're sleeping, as well as on this side. Or you can also have the sun covers on, the window covers on, and you can still prop the window open with this knob here, which is pretty good. You got some storage space up here, you know, if you want to lay down. There's a vent to blow some cool air. You got speakers back there, and you can even store things up there on these compartments as well. As you can see, some extra storage. That's the top bunk. Now let's head down. When the second bed is lowered like that, it might seem a little bit crowded, but if you want to open up some space, you know, in case you're a solo driver, so that you have a little bit more light coming down on your second bunk, all you can do is you can lift the top bunk, and that's it. And that's as easy as grabbing it by the ladder, pushing it until you hear an audible sound, or, you know, you can pull on it just to make sure that it's latched in, and that's it. You got nice covers here to darken out your back cabin space, you know, whenever you're sleeping during the daytime. The bottom bunk is as beautiful as it looks. We've got some temperature control units up here. We've got an S-bar system, which is only for heating, not for cooling. We also have those covers, sun covers. In our case, we have the decals. That's why it seems like it's tinted. The windows are fairly small on both top and bottom on this side as well. These are slidable, so if you want, you can slide it open, leave it like that, or you can close it. When it comes to the road test, what I love about, you know, taking a look at our trucks is that I actually get to drive them. When it comes to driver comfort, I feel like the Cascadia is, you know, up on par with the Volvos. In my opinion, at least, the Volvos are the most comfortable. The Cascadias are the second best. Also, when it comes to overview, you know, big windshield, in my opinion, Volvos rank first place because you have the best overview, huge side mirrors, whereas the Cascadias, now that I'm looking at it, the side mirrors are small, are fairly small, and you gotta either adjust the mirror or adjust yourself I think that's where Freightliner can do some improvements and you know, make some bigger side mirrors. Hood mirrors, just like in any other truck, serve their purpose if they're mounted correctly. You can see your blind spots. There's not a lot of noise when it comes to, you know, the plastic from the dashboard and items in the truck, inside the cabin, unless of course you have some coins rattling here and there and, you know, some condiments and whatnot. That can produce a lot of noise and can get quite annoying when you're driving for long hours down the road. As a side note, the turn signal sound is loud and can be obnoxious, and I've seen quite a few times drivers forgetting their turn signals and driving for, you know, 5, 10, 15 miles with a left turn signal in the left lane or, you know, in the right lane, so you don't know whether they're going to turn past somebody or if they've forgotten their turn signal. So I do believe that if you have an option in your truck to make an audible turn signal, leave it on. Leave it on, and, you know, so that you can properly use those turn signals. I really like how the Cascadia is shifting. Obviously, we're not under load, we are bobtailing right now, but I do believe that it has plenty of power to pull a heavy load even. And this was our 2022 Freightliner Cascadia. Thank you for watching this far. Make sure that you hit the like, share, and subscribe button down below. Ring the notification bell if you don't want to miss any future updates or any future videos of ours. And I'll see you in our next one.